Hello. Oh, let me turn this off. The car's making noise. I am excited. Today is a big day. I am getting my insulin pump today. I have been diabetic for 4 years, since February 28th, 2015 to be exact. And today is December 19th, 2019. I am now about to be on the insulin pump. At first, you have to go back and watch my other video, which was my diagnosis story, and I tell you about how I was on the medicine, and then I got off the medicine, then I got back on. So basically, I am able to somehow maintain my numbers, but I'm on like a really strict diet. I'm able to maintain my numbers, but it doesn't help long term because of the type of diabetic I am. It doesn't matter with just diet and exercise. I need insulin regardless. So I am getting my insulin pump today, and it's the Omnipod Dash. I do want to tell you guys what happened. So first, I realized my stomach was really sore because I was doing a lot of stomach pricks and taking the once a day Trisheba, and then I was doing the Humalog several times a day. Even for snacks, I was doing the Humalog. Well, the thing is, my stomach became sore to the touch. One day I just touched my stomach and it was very sore. And so I was like, you know what? I need to see about maybe looking into the insulin pump, because I just was not okay that my stomach is sore because I have to do so many pricks per day. Like even for snacks, I was having to do pricks because my sugar just was like uncontrolled. So with that, I spoke to my endo, and she agreed. She was like, yeah, you're taking the long acting and the fast acting, so you are a candidate for an insulin pump. So I started researching on my own different types of pumps. And so I saw the Omnipod does not have a cord, and I do have a busy life. So I was like, well, I don't want to have a cord where I gotta hide it and put it in pants and, you know, put it in sweaters and do different things like that. So I went ahead and I saw the Omnipod. All right, I called my insurance. Just listen, this is gonna lead to something. I called my insurance, which is Blue Cross. Called them. I was like, hey, me and my doctor have been talking about me getting on the insulin pump. So I was trying to see, you know, how do I go about that? Do she just send something to my normal CVS where I have prescriptions go, or like, what do we do? So they were saying, well, here's a list of providers. You need to speak to a manufacturer that sells those types of machines. And so I went down the list. It was like 10 pages in alphabetical order of different companies you can call and say, hey, here's my insurance. I'm thinking about getting an insulin pump. Can you get me some prices? Because I needed to know what I would be paying out of pocket for the insulin pump, or if it would be free the way my Freestyle Libre was free. So I also was checking on the Dexcom too, because I was at the point where I'm like, you know what, I need some alerts going off. Like one day I was asleep and I woke up and I felt horrible, and I checked my sugar. I was 40. I was very low, and the Freestyle, of course, don't alert you. So I was like, I need to get off this. I need to get something with alerts. So I switched to the Dexcom G6, which was free. My Freestyle Libre, the sensors were free every time, and I think for the reader it was $40. Well, when I switched to the Dexcom, the little reader thing, PDM is what it's called, and the pod, the sensors for the G6 were totally free. The actual handheld device and the Dexcom sensors were totally free. So I'm thinking, okay, that's free, but it just tells me what my sugar is. So I wonder if the pump is going to be free too, because the pump is doing a little bit more. So anyways, I spoke to a company called Bryman Healthcare, and that's the company that was on the email. And I spoke to them. They did the research, called me back. It's like, yep, so Miss Ziegler, is going to be $1,300 for the PDM, and it's going to be $300 a month to maintain the pods for your Omnipod. So I was like, that don't make sense, because every time I've needed something, like I never have paid even over $25 for just insulin alone. Like, you're telling me I need to do $1,300 just to get the handheld thing that tells it, the pump, how much insulin to give me, and it's going to be $300 a month to maintain. I was like, I literally pay maybe $300 a year for the insulin pens. I guess I'm just going to stick with the insulin pen and stick with the pricks to my stomach. And I was so sad, so devastated. And it's hard for me to cry. Like, I almost cried. Like, even it's hard for me to even almost cry, but I almost cried because I was like, it was a big letdown. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to get this insulin pump that's going to be a game changer for me. I'm going to be able to stop having to prick myself all the time. And then you tell me it's $1,300, and it's around Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, and my daughter's birthday. Hers is always at the end of the year. I'm like, I don't want to spend $1,300 on a pump. When I have the insulin pens that do the same thing, it's just that it is a lot and a lot of pricks. So anyways, I was so upset. I called my insurance company back like 2 days after that. I just called them back. When I called them back, they said, I told them what happened. I said, hey, you guys emailed me a list, and these people are saying it's $1,300. I just don't understand. And then she said, well, have you spoke to Express Scripts? And I was like, no. And she's like, let me transfer you to Express Scripts. Express Scripts looked it up, and they said, no, your pods are free. The pod is completely free. You can get the PDM and the pod. They're coming up completely free with your insurance. And I said, well, why is this Brahmin healthcare place telling me that it's $1,300? And she said, well, we at Express Scripts, we run it through pharmacy, and Brahmin, they run it through just insurance. So if they're running through insurance, you have to have met deductibles and things. That's why you obviously must not have met your deductible for the year, so they're charging you for it. But with us running it through pharmacy, they ran it through Walgreens Pharmacy, which I normally use CVS, but they ran it through Walgreens Pharmacy, and they're like, we're showing it $0. I said, I need you to get that order for me right now while you see $0 in there. And so she's like, well, we have... Okay, sorry, my phone died. So, Express Scripts said, well, we have to run it through, we need a prescription from your doctor, and after that, you'll receive everything. It's going to be pretty quick. So it's like, okay, let's get started on it. So they said, we're going to reach out to your doctor, but can you also reach out to your doctor to make sure that she's going to, see it and fill it out quickly, whatever. Now, pause there. My doctor had already said for me to wait until after the holidays. This was before Thanksgiving. She wanted me to wait till after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, after New Year's to start my pump. Because she's like, people are going to be on PTO, and you have to take a 2-hour class. I didn't even know you have to take a class. So I was like, I have to take a class. She's like, yeah, I can't just give you a pump and just let you go. That was when she was going to try to get it set up in-house. I took it upon myself and reached out to my insurance and was like, hey, I need a pump. How do I get this going? That's when they sent me that long list of people, and I reached out to Brahmin. Brahmin was saying $1,300. Talked to Express Scripts. Express Scripts said, we can send this out. And we can send this out to you, or you can deal with like Omnipod itself. So there's different ways you can go through this, but it's going to be free. Okay, so I talked to Omnipod. Omnipod said, yeah, I'm going to send it over. So 2 people were sending it over. I didn't care. I just wanted to get the pump as fast as possible. So Omnipod was able to get the prescription really quick from my doctor. And literally maybe like one day later, I got a call back from a rep at Omnipod, Jessica. And she was like, hey, I ran your pods through Walgreens. The pods is what is the pump. It holds the insulin and all that. So I ran that through Walgreens, and they're going to reach out to you to see what's a good day to deliver it, because a signature is required. So Walgreens called me like 10 minutes after her. I need to verify your address. What day do you want these to come? So it was like a Thursday. So I said, well, I'm off on weekends. Do you all deliver on Saturdays? They did. So they sent it Saturday, and they said it was going to be before noon on Saturday. So I was at home waiting on them. The delivery guy came. I think it was FedEx. They came at like 8 a.m. So it was really early. I didn't have to wait around all day, because Saturdays is like my day to work on my businesses. So if you don't know, I own a travel business. I book trips for people, and I also help other people start their travel business. It's a very small fee. It's less than $200. You get to travel for less. You get to travel whenever you want, wherever you want. You get a lot of perks, and you can earn money from traveling too. So don't take another trip. Just so you know, don't take another vacation without speaking to me first. Message me or something, and I will see it, so that I can help you earn money from the trip you were going to take anyway. Back to the dash. So I didn't know that there were two different Omnipods. So I when the box came, it came separate. The PDM, it was like a welcome kit. It came separate. It was a mess with that, because that came separately. I told FedEx, I left a note on my door to leave it on my porch. Here it goes. I checked my tracking number, and it says no one was in the office. They tried to leave it in the office around the corner instead of the address I had on the package. That's a whole nother story. So I finally got the dash. So once I had the dash, I called Omnipod back. I'm like, hey, I've got the pods, I've got the dash, and then my doctor sent the vials, because you need the insulin vials. She sent that to my CVS that I normally get things at. And so all of this is going on, trying to get this pump stuff switched. So I said, when will I have the 2-hour class? And they're like, well, there's only one person that works for each state. Like, there's only one person that works for each state, so you're gonna have to wait until she's free. And at this point now, it's like a week before Christmas, so you're saying well, it may be after the holidays, after Christmas, and after New Year's. So, like, are you telling me that you're a large company? I'm assuming you're a large company, and that you only have one person that can train me, and I have to wait on her to get to me in line? Like, are you serious? So I'm talking to Omnipod. I'm like, I need to speak to a supervisor in Omnipod. Okay, so I spoke to the supervisor. I'm like, how do I escalate? Because you guys definitely need to do some improvements. There's no way that you should be such a large company, and you're telling me in my state, I'm in Alabama, there's only one person. Now, what if she is sick? What if she's got issues? You mean to tell me no one gets their pump started? Because I literally cannot start using the pump until I meet with her, because I don't know what settings goes in. It asks you a bunch of settings, like how much insulin should you get per hour, and all kind of stuff that really the doctor only gives to the specialist. So they gave me the phone number for the lady in Alabama. I talked to her. She's like, yeah, well, I'm actually on the other side of Alabama this week. I'm in North Alabama, so I'm not even in your area. So she was done. She was like, I'm not even in your area, so we're going to have to wait. And I told her, I said, surely you have a backup. And then she said, well, there is one person that is my backup. I can reach out to her, and I'll see if she'll message you. See if she can get with you. So she said, I will call you back tomorrow. She kept saying tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll call you back. Tomorrow I'll let you know. Tomorrow. Tomorrow came. I didn't hear nothing from her. So I called her back, and I text her. No response. At this point, I'm calling Omnipod back. I told Omnipod, hey, you guys are the ones that mailed me this stuff. She said she was going to call me back. I hadn't heard nothing from her. She's saying she does have only one person that's a backup, so there's only 2 people in my entire state. You guys really need to work on that. Like, you should have more than 2 people that can train people all over the state. So he said, I'm going to get someone. I'm going to email her. I'm going to text her, the primary one. He said, I'm going to email her. I'm going to text her. I'm going to call her. I'm going to do everything I can to see if we can go ahead and get you to the top of the list, blah, 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 blah. By about 8 o'clock that night, I received a call from the backup lady, and she was like, hey, can you meet tomorrow? I said, yep, I sure can. I can meet whenever you're free. So we are meeting at McDonald's because I don't know, they meet people at other places like Starbucks sometimes. They don't have to be in the hospital. So we meet at McDonald's. I have to have all my stuff with me. I literally bring the entire welcome kit box, all my Omnipods, all my insulin, bring everything with me to make sure I have everything there, so this can be a one and done situation. All right. So FYI, I'm in some groups on Facebook, some diabetic groups, and I was telling them like, hey, it's so frustrating. I got everything here. I'm literally looking at it, but no one can do my class. And so they were saying, well, just do it yourself. Go ahead and put the settings in yourself. I'm like, I'm not going to play with the settings. I'm sorry. The settings tells the pump how much insulin to give me per hour. I'm not about to give myself my own setting and then drop low or not give myself enough. Like, that's something I absolutely have to wait on the class, because the doctor's going to send that to the specialist or whatever. So anyways, I'm glad I waited. So as you can see, there was a lot. I hope you can understand that I had a lot going on just trying to get the pump. Also, I called Bryman back and I was like, listen, I called them back and I was like, this is totally unacceptable that you guys, when you saw it was 1,300, you just said, well, it's 1,300. Do you have that? Nope. Okay, bye. And it's like, I'm sitting here debating if I should go pull 1,300 out my account for this pump or just stick at the 300 a month that I mean 300 a year that I'm paying. I'm sitting here debating that when I would have been throwing away money, giving them $1,300, and I didn't even need to. So I talked to her. I said, hey, I talked to Bryman back. And I said, hey, you know, you guys told me it's $1,300. Here I go call Express Scripts and it's free. And I said, don't you think when you guys saw that it was high, that you should have recommended that I call back? I said, me being a diabetic, being new to the whole pump world, I didn't know that things are ran in different ways. I didn't know that. If I had not have had the sense to call them back and say, hey, you gave me this list of numbers and the list is telling me it's $1,300. If I had never called them back, I would have been either paying the $1,300 or I would have been still stuck doing the insulin pens, not knowing all along that I could have got this stuff for free. And she was like, well, when you called us, you said you wanted the Omnipod. And the Omnipod, I'm looking at it, it is $1,300. But if you would have said that you wanted the Dash is free with us too. I said, I didn't even know the difference. I didn't even know there was more than one Omnipod. Like, this is how much you guys, the person I spoke to, should have been engaged in, like, going through options with me. It's saying, hey, this option here is 13, but this other option, which the Dash is the newer one anyway. Of course, I want the newer pump, but I didn't know there was a difference. All I knew is that when I did my research, the name Omnipod kept coming up saying that it was a tubeless insulin pump. That's all that I knew. So Bryman, they need to do better on offering options, letting people know, hey, you don't qualify for this, but you can get this. That's common sense. That's customer service 101. I'm out of this. I'm out of fries, but hey, do you want a shake? You know, do something. But anyways, I just wanted to vent about that. I'm going to have to go in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to put her on camera because she probably, for privacy, I'm not going to put the specialist on camera. But I'm so glad that she was able to meet with me today. So I'm going to go in here and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, so I'm just getting back in the car. I do have my pod on. I'm going to show you that. I had to put this thing on my head because it is cold out here. I don't know what the weather is, but it's cold. It feels like it's like 40, 50 degrees. All right, so y'all, I don't know what's going on, but you know, all the things I've been running into trying to get this pump started. Like, remember the things I mentioned with the Bryman Healthcare and then the Express Scripts, and then I got all the products and no one could do my class, and then they finally got my class done. And while I was in there, we were at the part where she needs to put the settings in the pump. And she's like, oh, the doctor hasn't sent the settings yet. So we can put the pod on, but I'm going to set it to no insulin. So it won't give you any insulin until we hear back from her. Let's try to call the office. Try to call the doctor's office. I kept getting put on hold. I kept getting transferred. Finally, somebody from the office answered and they said the doctor's off on today. She's off every single Thursday. So I was like, can somebody send something to her, do something? Like, I'm literally at the class and we can't move forward at this point of the class until I have the numbers. So then that's when the teacher got to the point where she said, you know what, we went through it. I'm going to tell you guys how the class goes. But she said, we went through everything. She's like, let's put it on, but I'm going to set it to 0. So what'll happen is she's supposed to be back in office tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll meet back up and I'll plug the settings in because she should send them right away once she's back in the office. So I'm like, okay, cool. at least we got the 2-hour class part out the way, and all I'm waiting on is the settings. So the way that the class goes, just so that you know, you meet up with them. Well, I don't know how everybody else does it, but with this teacher, the booklets that come in the welcome packet, they're really thick. I just took them in the house too. I already put them up, but she's like, the booklets, well, here's one of them. This one's pretty thin, but I have some were about this thick. She literally goes through the parts you need to know in there. And the part I liked the most was the carbs, because I'm going to need to know how many carbs I'm eating to tell the machine, so the machine knows how much insulin to give me. So when I eat throughout the day. So she goes through the booklet. She reads. She tells you about the pod, how it works. You literally set everything up. I got the app set up. I got the PDM set up. We did everything right there. She just walked me right through it. And it's a lot to take in. I will say I took a few notes. I also will say, make sure you're focused when you go. Pay attention, because insulin pumps are serious. It's giving you insulin all day long. Then you're giving yourself the insulin on top of that when you eat. So you definitely want to be careful. So the class is worth it. It's very informational. What I did like, she was a diabetic too. She has the pump with the cord, but just knowing that a diabetic is teaching you too, that helps me, because they understand the urgency. They understand everything, the day in, the day out. So it's just better, in my opinion, not discriminating. But so yeah, so my pod, I decided to put it on my back this first time. That's how it looks. And then, of course, on my stomach, my G6 is on my stomach. So I got two things going on. So I got to remind my husband, because he loves to grab on. Like, listen, you got to be careful on my back and my stomach when you try to hug me. So, but yeah, so the handheld device looks like this. Looks like a little cell phone. So I'm keeping that with me. I'm also going to keep with me, she did tell me there's 3 apps that so there's one called Omnipod View, Omnipod Display, Omnipod, and the other one's called Potter Central. There's 3. You are going to need those. I did everything with her though. We even synced the blood glucose reader. Like, you can sync it to the pump, but she was like, you probably never gonna use this because you have the G6. So that's just a side note. And then it came with this really cool pouch. If I can get it open, I'll try to show you. So it's all over the place right now, but you can put the pricker. This is the blood sugar thing. It automatically syncs your blood sugar to the pump. Then this is the valve. This was left over from what we had to use to put the insulin in there. And then here's the strips. Okay. And then that's really all in here. It actually comes with this little image too that tells you how to put everything in this pouch. The main thing is this insulin it needs to always be at least at room temperature. Like, you can't leave it in the car if it's hot or something. So I'm going to have this pouch like literally in my purse at all times. She also mentioned having like an extra pod with you, so I do have an extra one. Let me show you. Yeah. So this is a pod, this is the needle, and this is the other part that goes with it. You just connect these two together, and then you push the air, suck air into it, and then I put the needle into the insulin valve and fill it up with 200 units of insulin. You put the insulin into this thing on the back, and then you put this on you. And it's so cool because with the handheld device, you just put this on you with the adhesive. And on the handheld device, you'll let it know that it's on you and you're ready for it to start. And when you press start on here, it pushes the needle into you, which is different because the Libre I used to have to like push in thing myself to make it inject into me. So what I'm looking forward to gain from being on this dash is to not have to do any more stomach pricks. I actually don't even have to do any more fingerprints at all either, because I have the G6 and it's supposed to be so accurate. So I have those. I'm looking forward to not having to stick myself anymore. This Omnipod, I'm looking forward to not having to take as much insulin, because the teacher and my endo both said you're not going to take as much insulin as you were, because it's this insulin, it gives you insulin all day long. So you're constantly getting insulin all day long. So you don't, it's just going to eliminate you having to take so much insulin and having to do pricks and sticks and all that stuff. So that's it. I hope this review of the dash helps you in some kind of way. And also, she told me I'm the first person in Alabama that has the dash. She was like, what kind of insurance do you have? Because everybody I dealt with has the Omnipod. And I was like, well, from what I was told, the Omnipod is the one that was $1,300 and the dash is what was free for me. So that's what it ended up coming out to. So any of you guys that's watching this, you're a healthcare provider, if you're in customer service, if somebody comes to you for some, please offer them other options. Like, I almost ended up not getting a pump from listening to Bryman say, oh, it's $1,300. And that was for the Omnipod, which is the older one. The dash, the difference between the Omnipod and the dash, from my understanding, first, the dash has a handheld device that looks like a cell phone that I just showed you. And I can't remember the other one. I'm sorry. I need to check my sugar, because my mind just went blank, and that happens sometimes when my sugar is either high or low. But yeah, so I hope this helped you guys in some way. Any other information I find about the dash, I'll put it in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe. I do cover a lot of travel information, business tips, a lot of different things, and my page is constantly growing, so don't miss out. I also do free giveaways, so you'll be able to join my mail list. Go to connectwithyourcreator.com, connectwithyourcreator.com, and you can provide your email address to me, and you'll be included in my Cash App and vacation giveaways I do all the time. All right, you be blessed, and I wish you nothing but good times, good everything, good blessings, good times, long life. Y'all have a good night.